Kobe Bryant. Fans remember him as a girl dad, 5-time NBA champion, and Laker legend. But did you know he once played an entire season with a broken finger? Or that he considered joining forces with his childhood idol and mentor, Michael Jordan? Get ready to uncover 24 things about the Black Mamba that you may not know about, some of which are legendary, so stick around till the end. You won't want to miss this. Now, speaking of legendary, did you know Kobe's parents named their not-yet-born son after a famous Japanese beef they spotted on a restaurant menu?
It actually is the name of the beef.
They thought it sounded cool, and his middle name, Bean, which comes from his dad's nickname, Jelly Bean. Clearly, Kobe's parents had a good sense of humor, but the Mamba wasn't so amused.
Steak and beans? Like what you talking about, man?
Inspired by Kobe Bryant's legendary status, parents across the country began naming their kids Kobe, hoping they'd someday shine in the NBA. Fast forward a few decades, and we have two young men carrying the name in the NBA, Kobe Bufkin and Kobe Brown. The story behind Kobe Brown's name is especially cool. His dad once met Joe Bryant and watched a young Kobe play, and he was hooked. He knew right then he'd name his future son after the Lakers icon. Talk about a slam dunk legacy.
Versus it! What a big play for the youngster!
Growing up in Italy, Kobe didn't just pick up fluent Italian, he went on to become a true linguistic maestro.
Porque yo hablo italiano y italiano es mayor.
He learned Spanish from his wife Vanessa, who has Mexican roots, Slovenian from teammate Sasha Vujacic, Serbian from Vladimir Radmanovic, and French from teammate Ronny Turiev. Why French, you ask?
Straight trash me French.
Wow.
And I was like, man, you learn French that fast?
Talk about being a Renaissance man. Kobe used his multilingual talents to trash talk opponents in their native languages, throwing them off their game. He even spoke Spanish with Pau Gasol on the court to keep their strategies a secret from opponents. And even after retiring, his competitive spirit never waned. Case in point, heckling Luka Doncic in Slovenian.
It's a little trash to you. I understand he was actually talking in Slovenian, is that right?
Yeah.
What did he say?
I can't say that.
Talk about next-level mind games. Young Kobe honed his hoop skills in Italy, often squaring off against grown men when he was just 12. Imagine skinny Kobe trying to guard a towering opponent. Hilarious, right? But even then, the Mamba mentality was already brewing inside him long before the term was coined. Before he dominated the NBA, Kobe tried to drop some beats, aiming to dethrone Jay-Z as the GOAT of hip-hop. Sony Entertainment even signed him to a record deal.
Stay strong, pride telling me move on.
But fortunately for basketball fans, his rap career was short-lived. Kobe ditched the mic and picked up championship rings, cementing his Hall of Fame legacy on the court instead. Kobe Bryant wasn't just a legend on the court, he was a savvy businessman off it too.
What comes next? Right, so the question needs to be, what comes next? What can I do? What is my passion?
One of his smartest moves, investing in the then startup Body Armor. Kobe's initial $6 million investment turned into $400 million when Coca-Cola bought the company for a whopping $5.6 billion. If you do the math, that's a jaw-dropping 6,500% return on investment. Who knew? Kobe might also be the GOAT of venture capitalists.
Well, you got to have strong entrepreneurs. I mean, that's really the key for us, is looking at the people. Yes, it's important to see those returns, right?
Coby Bryant wasn't just a star on the court. He almost became one on the big screen, too.
Okay. Yo, Kobe!
Spike Lee originally wanted Kobe to play the role of Jesus Shuttlesworth, and he got game. But Kobe, ever the perfectionist, declined to focus on refining his game after a tough sweep by the Utah Jazz. The rest, as they say, is history. Can you imagine if he had accepted? We might know him as Jesus Shuttlesworth instead of the Black Mamba, and that just doesn't have the same ring to it. Kobe eventually snagged an Oscar for the animated short film Dear Basketball, which he wrote and narrated. Talk about coming full circle.
And the Oscar goes to Dear Basketball, Glenn Keane and Kobe!
And speaking of the Black Mamba, did you know Kobe got that nickname from Quentin Tarantino's movie, Kill Bill? In the film, an assassin uses this deadly snake to take out another hitman. Kobe adopted this fierce moniker during a personal crisis involving an assault case in 2003. Creating an alter ego helped him separate his personal life from his professional one, allowing him to stay at the top of his game despite the chaos around him. Kobe later revealed that embracing the Mamba persona was his only way of moving on from the Colorado incident, transforming into the Black Mamba, cutthroat, precise, and unforgiving. Unlike the typical wholesome marketing strategies, Kobe's campaign with Nike was all about embracing his fierce alter ego.
I'm
They thought wrong. Because this time, he strikes back. Kobe Bryant is the Black Mamba.
They even introduced a snake-inspired logo as part of the campaign. Whether this idea came from Kobe himself is up for debate, but the results were undeniable. His signature shoes became wildly popular, especially among players.
Coveted his models are now amongst NBA players. So this hoarding it's fascinating.
One of Kobe's lasting legacies is his game-changing impact on the sneaker industry. Before Nike unveiled Kobe's low-cut sneakers, high tops were the norm for most players. Fast forward a few decades, and over 60% of NBA players now rock low-cut sneakers, thanks to Kobe's relentless pursuit of performance and functionality. Talk about stepping up the game. Kobe was no stranger to overcoming adversity.
Because from there, I was like, okay, that gives me all the confidence in the world to fail.
He might be the GOAT of playing through injuries. In true Mamba fashion, he powered through ailments that would sideline most players for weeks. A broken hand? No problem.
He's not going to come out of a game like this, and you see the tape going on the finger here by Gary Vitti.
Torn rotator cuff? He played on. Sprained ankle? Just another day at the office. He even played an entire season with an avulsion fracture on his finger and still snagged his 5th ring. Why did he put himself through all that pain? As Vanessa Bryant once said, it was for the fans. And I quote, "What about the fans who saved up to watch me play just once?"
I remember asking him why he couldn't just sit a game out because he was hurting. He said, "What about the fans that saved up to watch me play just once?"
Kobe wasn't just the Black Mamba, he was the man of the people, pouring his heart and soul into every game. And did he ever put on a show? Kobe once scored 62 points in just 3 quarters.
For 3, I don't believe it! Incredible! 95, 61, adds to his career best, 62 for Kobe.
Outscoring the entire Mavericks team by himself. His performance was so dominant, he didn't even need to play in the 4th. Had he done so, he might have been the only player in NBA history with 2 80-point games.
This would be 18 for 20 from the line and an 81-point game.
And let's not forget his grand finale, scoring 60 points on 50 shots. Talk about going out on your terms.
Bryant's final memory for us is a 60-point game and a victory over the Utah Jazz.
Sometime in the 2003 season, Kobe Bryant went on a scoring rampage, dropping over 40 points in 9 straight games, and was on the brink of making it 10. But then, Coach Phil Jackson called him into the office with a tough request. Dial it back, because they were losing Shaq.
We're starting to lose the big fella.
Ever the team player, Kobe sacrificed his streak by passing up an open jumper to feed the big fella. Just like that, his incredible run came to an end.
We have a game against the Clippers. I think I had like 38 or something like that. And I had a chance to score 40 and get 40 again. It was a blowout game. I dumped the ball in the Shaq instead of shooting a wide open shot. The 40-point streak ended that night.
Wow.
The surprising part is that Kobe never repeated the feat, even in the 05-06 season when he averaged 35.4 points per game. And he did it while teaming up with the likes of Smush Parker and Kwame Brown. Kobe's legendary exploits weren't limited to the basketball court. He once learned to play Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata on the piano just to serenade his wife, Vanessa. But taking lessons, that would be too easy. In typical Mamba fashion, he learned to play it by ear. And did you know Kobe had some serious dance moves? That's right. Before he was the Black Mamba, young Kobe in Italy stepped up to the school talent show when the main act dropped out.
School talent show in Italy, and my sister was a part of it, and the act dropped out, and so she asked me if I would do it, and big sister kind of was like, hey, listen, you're doing it, and so I did it.
Imagine this future basketball legend busting out some smooth moves on stage. Who knew the Mamba could groove? Seriously, is there anything this man couldn't do? Steph might call himself the petty king.
I'm the petty king.
But Kobe was the petty goat. Mark Spears once shared an anecdote with Chris Johnson, revealing that Kobe refused to grant him an interview unless he made a video trashing his Adidas sweatsuit and shoes. Now that's some next-level Mamba pettiness. So what sparked Kobe's disdain for Adidas? When the Kobe 2s dropped in 2000, they flopped spectacularly. Kobe, ever the perfectionist, wanted nothing to do with the brand anymore. In true Mamba fashion, he shelled out $8 million to break his contract and cut ties with Adidas. And sticking to the topic of feuds, the Shaq and Kobe feud was well publicized. But did you know Kobe considered leaving LA to join the Wizards as a free agent? That plan went up in smoke when Wizards owner Abe Pollin parted ways with MJ in 2003. Talk about the ultimate what-if in Kobe's career. It was no secret that Michael Jordan was one of Kobe's mentors. Kobe even credited him in The Last Dance, saying he couldn't have won 5 championships without MJ.
I don't get 5 championships here without him.
But here's a twist. Another MJ, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, was also a mentor to Kobe. Yes, you heard that right. After a brutal playoff loss to the Utah Jazz, where Kobe infamously shot 4 air balls, he was working out at Gold's Gym in Venice, California. Out of nowhere, he got a call from an unknown number. The voice on the other end said, "Hi, it's Michael." Kobe, puzzled, responded, "Michael who?" The reply, "Michael Jackson." Kobe was floored. He had never met or spoken to the pop icon before. He called out of the blue, Kobe later recalled, thinking the call wasn't real at first, but it was. The two chatted for 15 minutes, with the king of pop dropping wisdom that would help mold young Kobe into the legend he became. Talk about an unexpected mentor.
His process and how he sold 50 million albums off of Thriller. Like, he showed me how he composed songs, how he structured them.
Several years after Michael Jackson's passing, Nike dropped a special edition sneaker, the Kobe 9 Elite Low Flyknit. This sleek, hyper-grape sneaker pays tribute to the greatest pop star of all time. Beneath its translucent outsole, lunar graphics on the footbed honor Michael Jackson's iconic moonwalk. It's like moonwalking with every step, literally. Kobe's legacy extends far beyond basketball. As a philanthropist, he supported causes ranging from cancer research to education and sports. For over 20 years, he partnered with Make-A-Wish, making over 200 appearances and spreading joy to countless children. But his kindness didn't stop there. One foggy day, he even stepped out of his car to help direct traffic and comfort accident victims until the police arrived. On or off the court, Kobe was always ready to step out of his comfort zone. Truly, the Mamba mentality knew no bounds. Like Kobe Bryant, Shaq was also a man of the people. Renowned for his generosity, Shaq knew how to give back in a way only he could. Big, bold, and larger than life, just like his presence on the court. Check out this video to see Shaq's incredible exploits on and off the hardwood. You won't believe some of these stories.